Hi, this is Chillin, and as you can probably tell from the title of this video and what you're seeing on your screen right now, I have been redesigning the main six from My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. We're starting off with Twilight here. Twilight was actually the reason I did this whole thing, because me and a friend were talking about My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, and we noticed that Twilight's design could be a lot better in our opinion. It could show her traits a bit more. So that's what spurred me on to do this whole thing originally. It's been a while since then. I'm going back to it. The original art is what you can see in the top corner. Not the paper art. The paper art is from school a few days ago. But to start off, we have Twilight, as I mentioned. And I try to give her a bit more traits that show her personality. So like hair in a ponytail so it doesn't get in her books while she's reading. And like a bag so she can carry stuff. And a short tail so it doesn't catch on stuff around in her library. Twilight's overall the one I changed the most, I'm pretty sure. I also changed her color scheme a decent amount. So you can see here she has more of the colors of an actual twilight sky with oranges and light pinks. And I also gave her freckles that look like stars because I thought that was cute. I'm so sorry for how I'm about to do the outlines. I don't usually color my outlines, so I don't know the best way to do it. This is probably not the best way to do it, and I apologize for anyone who regularly colors outlines. But yeah, I'm probably going to go more into depth in terms of the actual character stuff in the other ones, because this was, I feel, a lot of establishing stuff for Twilight since she's the first one. But yeah, I am proud of how all of these turned out, actually. Some of them a bit more than the others. But yeah, there's Twilight pretty much. Okay, now we're on to Pinkie Pie, who I'm pretty sure is my favorite out of my redesigns, in this video anyway. You can see here me using the pose I used on my paper art from school, because I really like how it turned out. I have a lot of details about Pinkie Pie that are probably hard to fully understand just from looking at her. Or maybe they're easy, I don't know. But I try to give her, or I didn't try to, but I gave her shorter hair. Just that, it would probably be good to not get into her baking and stuff. A lot of these characters need short hair, but they don't actually in reality. That's a theme going on. But she has white spots that originally, were just meant to look like, vitiligo, I'm pretty sure. That's how it said. I go between vitiligo and vitiligo. I'm not quite sure. I'm so sorry. But I really like it in character design. But for my second pass of the design, I try to also make it look like icing, because, Pinkie Pie. You can also now see me adding sweets and lollipops in her mane and tail. I think it fits Pinkie Pie's vibe, honestly. Who knows, maybe she got them in there accidentally, maybe she put them in there on purpose, because it's a vibe, honestly. Uh... I also tried to give the main six slightly different body types. I don't know how well you can see it in this art because they're not all in the same pose. But Pinkie Pie is meant to be a bit chubbier, a bit shorter, a bit stout, I don't know how well that reads off, but also I try to make her really fluffy. I try to give them all different, like, fluff levels that fit them. Twilight back there was pretty short, but like still fluffy. Pinkie Pie, really fluffy, and I think that really fits her. She also definitely doesn't style it, or maybe like slightly does, but like she mostly lets it do its thing. I also did try to make her hair look a bit more messy than Twilight's. I hope that came across well, but yeah, there she is, pretty much. And now we're on to Rainbow Dash. I think I probably had the most fun, interesting time with Rainbow Dash. She's definitely the most in my comfort zone in terms of character design, out of the main six, I'm pretty sure. I try to go for instead like the main sort of pose you see everyone use for images of Rainbow Dash. Um, her hair I also made shorter because I don't think her hair in canon is that air resistant. Like, I don't think it's that aerodynamic. I don't think it's easy to fly with that hair. There's a similar reasoning for the shorter tail. The aerodynamics, you know? I think. I don't know. I'm not a like plane designer or something, so don't quote me on that. But I try to make her look more like tomboy-esque. She already looks pretty tomboy in canon. I applaud them for that. But I try to make her look like sort of sporty, you know? So she has a bit of a leaner build. She's a bit longer. I tried to give her some sky imagery because I was like, her fur is blue, so like I can work with this. The rainbow was really hard for me to get right, especially on the like hoof warmers, I guess. You can see me here. I did it way too short. I completely overestimated how much space I'd need. Or underestimated. I don't know which of those is grammatically right in that context. But yeah, I fix it here, as you can see me doing. So there's a bit more complicated patterns than in canon, because I try to make them look a bit more like actual horses. Really stylized horses still, but like, you know, they have like patterns and stuff. So she has a lighter belly, which I really like. Her wings are really big and I love that for her. Her fur is a bit more shaggier, it's a bit sharper. Just because, I don't know, I think flying would do that to you. Especially as fast as Rainbow does. You can see in the top corner, that originally the rainbow look of her was very different. That's one of the few things I completely outright changed, even back then. Like the second art I did of my rainbow design, I changed how the rainbow on her hair looked. And I'm glad. It was a bit messy to do at first. But yeah, that's basically rainbow done. Rarity is the one I think I struggled with the second most. I had a really hard time, and still do, I have a really hard time, figuring out the way her hair works. The way her curls are so 3D is so confusing to me. I don't know how it works. I don't know how to draw it, let alone. So I struggled with that. But as you can see here, I'm also using the pose from the paper art I did earlier because, again, I really liked it. I did struggle with her legs, I think, a bit, just in terms of like perspective, but not much. Not in a way where it's like noticeable or anything. I honestly think in canon, Rarity needs more accessories. Like, she's a fashion designer. She needs to flaunt some of that, like, every day, you know, in her everyday look. So I gave her some, like, golden bracelets. I gave her a little, like, neck bow. I just think she's cute with that. As you'll see later, I'll make it maroon. Maroon is beautiful on Rarity. It's, wow, I didn't know that until I filled in that color and I was like, oh my gosh. So, I also have a blue fade in her hair, just because I love it. The blue in her cutie mark it's such a good color for her. Like, it's used in her eyes and her, like, eyeshadow, sure, but it needs more. We need more of it. As you can see in the originally in the top corner, you can see she originally had hooves. I said original a lot there. It's fine. But I ended up, to make her look sleeker, I removed the look of the really detailed, well, not really, but the noticeable hooves. The fluff I gave her is really regal, in my opinion. It's like fluffy, but very organized fluffy, you know? I also gave her longer legs than the others, just because that's a fashion model thing, in my opinion. I don't know. She's pretty. That's all you need to know about my decisions for rarity, in all honesty. Uh, they look good on her. You go, girl. But yeah, that's that's basically rarity done. Now, you may have noticed I said second hardest with rarity because Applejack was the hardest for me. Something about drawing Applejack just I struggle with. I struggled to find out how her hair worked. I struggled to find a pose, as you can see here. I'm flipping her around. Zero clue what to do. I struggled so much. You can see me just draw, like, write out ugh, and just a sad face there. So, I got that over with about now, though. Mostly. But, like, even past that, there's, like, I'm undoing so much here, but you can't see it. So overall, she was a struggle, but I'm good with how she turned out, in all honesty. I tried to give her very horse-like patterns, in my opinion. Just like, if you think of a horse, or if I think of a horse anyway, the patterns I gave Applejack are basically what I think of. Her fur is kind of shaggy. It's like, the way I can describe it is like, if a horse rolled around in hay. This is sort of how I'd draw that sort of fur. Because she's a farm pony, so it makes sense. Her hair, though, beautifully fluffy. I do like how that turned out. I like how she turned out. It's just the way I got to it. The struggle tainted it a bit for me. I will say, though, with Applejack's hair, and also back with Rainbow Dash's hair, they give me the vibe of their gala outfits. I don't know how or why. Maybe it's the almost curls I sort of draw hair with, but it's cute. I like it. And it is giving the vibe of their gala outfit, so it's still giving their vibe. So I succeeded. In terms of the bow I gave her, I'm pretty sure that's a thing with real horses, where if there's like a red bow on a horse's tail, it means that they might kick, so you should be careful around them. And I thought, we see Applejack kick a lot. So I was like, yeah. And also it works with the red of the rest of her design, with the apples and the hair ties, question mark? I don't think they're hair ties. I don't know what they are. I kept Applejack's freckles, because, you have to keep them. It's like the main interest about Applejack, in my opinion, visually anyway, is her freckles, and also her hair. But yeah, that's basically Applejack done. Fluttershy was very easy. After both Rarity and Applejack, I'm glad. Fluttershy's design is basically already perfect in every way, so there wasn't much I had to do. I tried to put her sort of in a flying pose, but for purposes I'll talk about, and you'll see a bit later, she is specifically standing. She just looks like she's flying. And those reasons are, I gave Fluttershy vestigial wings. She can't fly. I know Scootaloo already has, like, wings like that, but I feel like their stories would be a bit different with it. That's getting out of just redesign territory, though. But yeah, she's got vestigial wings. Really tiny. Um, her build overall is she's a lot smaller than the others. She's tiny, and I love that for her. The way I drew Fluttershy's hair for this, it reminds me of young Fluttershy. I don't know why, it just does, but I love that for her. Her fur, I made very short, but you can still tell that it's, like, very soft, but short. I changed her eye color a bit to be a bit more blue-green instead of just blue, I think. Because it looks good on her. But overall, I tried to keep her really simple. I did give her some slight fur patterns, a lighter muzzle, end of the wings, and a lighter belly, just to give her something more. But she's cute. I love Fluttershy. She's been my favorite for a while now, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that's basically her done. There we go.